Hello, everyone, and welcome to the final episode of Late Night Brew Ultimate Defender series, which, of course, we'll get to after we talk about the most important thing. Joining me once again, as always, to round out this wonderful series, John. Welcome back, sir.
Hey, Buck, thanks for having me again.
Of course, I am excited, as much as it saddens me that this is our final episode of the series. I've been loving these sessions. Now, what brew are you having with me for this final episode? I hope it's something special.
Lucky you asked. Yes, it is something special. I have my favorite cocktail of all time, which is an old-fashioned.
Very nice.
It's made with Woodford Reserve bourbon, which is, well, from my experience, I've found is one of the best.
Very nice. I love me an old fashioned, so I can appreciate that. And I too, we may have coordinated beforehand. I have a mixed drink, Negroni, actually, with it's a small distillery in South Carolina, rotten little bastard, which is what his mother used to call him. So that's why he decided to name his distillery after that, which I love.
Brilliant. I love it.
Right? And I'm pretty sure someone will correct me if I'm wrong that this is the first time I've not had a beer on a late night brew. So we're doing late night distill tonight.
Sounds good to me.
We are still talking about and going into the Defender portal. So with this one, we're focusing on, of course, the most important thing, what operational actions, what can you do in the portal? What changes can you effect?
So when you look at the Defender portal, it integrates all the Defender products that are in that suite kind of in one single pane. So you've got the Defender for Endpoint, the cloud apps, the identities, Defender for 365, which is your email and collaboration. So you're able to, configure and utilize those kind of almost like individually from an administrative point of view. But also then you've got the where it brings it all together. You've got things like the alerts and the incidents and threat analytics, and so that's really where you want to start looking at your threats or your alerts.
Right.
That's the place to start, and that will amalgamate all of them. So whether the signal has come from an endpoint, or it's come from identity, or it's come from an email, they'll just be all in one single place. And the alerts are like aggregated into an incident, and that gives you the whole timeline of what's happened, whether it's an email or a device, or the users that are involved, or if it's multiple devices that have been affected by one alert. It's all aggregated into an incident, so that's where you can see what's going on and then start to take actions like assigning it, changing the status, managing the device, whether you want to take the device offline. There's multiple actions that you can take.
Yeah, that nice single pane of glass for viewing, and with combining all of the alerts and such of it into an incident for that single one, it makes me kind of chuckle of like, look, you can see here, this is where the person clicked the link, and here's where it spread.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of it. Yeah, that's the beauty of it, because there's so many, like you get overwhelmed. You can get overwhelmed. Organizations get overwhelmed by the amount of signals that are coming in from all those different products, and so it's kind of like looking through the noise to try and determine which ones are the ones we really need to focus on.
Right, which is a really good lead-in, cheap lead-in to our next questions. Right, of course. Of how can organizations benefit from this? Where are they going to get time back? How is it going to help build their efficiencies?
Yeah, so the Defender suite is a huge it's a huge product set, so there's a lot to know. So investing in training initially is always a good thing, whether you're depending on your level of experience, of maybe you work in a SOC, or maybe not a security analyst, but you're an infrastructure analyst, but you've got to deal with the security side of it. I think investing in training is key initially, but then the big thing after that is automation. So because of all these signals that are coming in from all over the place, and there's lots of them, utilizing the automation and that Defender can provide is definitely the best way that organizations can get time back and essentially almost have themselves a security analyst, which is just using Defender and using the automation.
Right, because that is that last piece, if I'm remembering my Defender correctly, that's the automated incident response portion of the portal.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So that can take an alert or an incident from when it's created all the way through to resolution. And you can still go in and see what it's done. You can see, like the timeline, you can see what was impacted, and it can take it all the way from seeing your alert that's created as a new alert or a new incident, all the way to showing the status as resolved. It can't do it for every single alert and every single incident and every single kind of attack, but it can do it for a lot of them. So it will massively reduce, that noise and the time it takes to do this manually, or it would take.
Yeah, and automation, I'm a huge fan of it, and it's one of the most beautiful things about the cloud. And there's plenty of areas where, at least when I talk to my customers, and I really highlight the benefit of, hey, take a look, if you set this up in this way and have this action, you can basically from start to finish resolve an issue, and you won't even know about it because you've told it to take care of it for you. It's awesome.
I agree. I was just going to say, and that's so then you can focus your time on things which are worthy of your time,
strategic.
Yeah, because some of the alerts and incidents you'll get will be repetitive, and it'll be the same thing over and over, and rather than trying to resolve them manually, why not push that to automation, and then focus on maybe the more complex tasks.
That's right. On that awesome automated note, that wasn't very automated, that is unfortunately our time, and it wraps up this series. If you have any other questions, if you want to deep dive into any of these topics that we talked about, please reach out to us. Our contact info is below, so we really hope to hear from you. I hope you've enjoyed this series, and I'm looking forward to more. Jon, until our next episode, mate, with your next topic. Cheers, sir. Yep. Congratulations on a successful series.
Thanks for having me. I've loved it.
Take care. And